So this is 50. I remember looking back from my youth and thinking about how 50 is just such a wreck. You got some guy just going boom, 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 boom. And oh my God, I gotta start working out. Otherwise, I won't be able to lift my belly to find my dick when I need to take a piss. That's 50. That's what I know 50 is. And here, I remember being in like the 7th grade, 8th. It was the year of the new middle school. I was in the new middle school library looking at National Geographics in there in the library. And there was these old men just ripped, standing in the middle of the Sahara desert. I don't know, how do you get in that kind of shape at that age? But then, well, I'm sitting in the bar. Might have been Stratton's Flying Pig. The Flying Pig there in San Jose, but I'm pretty sure it was the, what do you call it? The Light Rail Lounge. The Light Rail Lounge down at Fisher, wherever the hell Light Rail exit that was. I almost remember it. I can't quite get it. But this guy was just sitting there going, ah. And he was sitting there with his drink. And I'm sitting with my drink going, ah. And he looks at me and he says, ah. He says, people are cockroaches. So what? And he says, what we've all heard. Once we hit 25, we don't even need to worry about what we need to eat anymore. We just eat whatever it takes. He's saying all it takes is calories after that. And sometimes, 25, we're still growing. The idea that we're producing more cells than those that are dying up until 25. And then about 25, we quit producing as many cells as what are dying. So we're actively dying at the age of 25. That's the idea. Some of us take longer. This is what you look at when you see a real late bloomer. Between 10th and 11th grade that summer, I grew from, I think, 5'1.5" to 5'7". I came and had the other shortest kid in the class looking up at me saying, I'm taller than you. I'm like, I don't know, Keith. I'm looking down in the bottom of your eyes from here. I think maybe I am taller. Not a big deal. It was a big deal, though. I waited. And then in basic training, I grew in those 2 months. I grew 2 inches and put on 15 pounds. And then after basic, in the next few years, I was at Bragg and in the desert. Next couple of years at Bragg, I grew another 2 inches. I hit my full 6 foot. That's what I wanted. And I put on another 10 pounds. So I was 6 foot 160. 10 pounds underweight for my height, according to the medical model. But I've always felt better when I was lighter. And then over in the desert, when I'm pretty sure they started giving us steroids in our mess hall food before we went into war, I put on 15 more pounds, solid muscle, just lifting this crap they had out there, the Flintstone gym, whatever they called it. We had concrete hooked up to rebar, just raw. I wanted to be ready to just kill everything I ran across, even if I worked for them. You know, that was the idea. You never know what you're going to run across. So, me being a person that comes from people that live over 100 years, I think I waited a little bit longer just to get it right. There's a worm that they can cut up. This was 15 years ago by now that I learned this in a class. They take, you know, there's a difference between life expectancy and lifespan, but they were looking at the lifespan of this worm, and they cut into it, and they did this recombinant DNA type of switch and everything around. I'm not actually sure it was recombinant. I don't know if they put another bug in there, but they moved their DNA around, and they were able to make them live twice as long as what they were. But the result of that is the idea that they were young longer and old longer. It just totally expands the lifespan. So I'm likely to be a very old man for a very long time, but at the same time, I'm going to see a whole bunch of people die. People aren't going to know whether I'm a vampire or not. We're in the hundreds where I come from. We're of an old people. And I paid attention after that guy said, we don't need anything but calories. I was like, well, I do notice when I'm not getting enough fat, my joints over the months of not getting enough fat will start that. And I'm like, oh, so I eat the crap out of a lot of fat. I will never leave fat off the side of a steak. If you have that on the side of your plate, I'll eat it. I mix it in, it's just, oh, excellent. So I eat the fats. I eat the grains. The only thing I could come up with is the idea of pizza. You got your meat, you got your dairy, you got your grains, and you got that other thing, whatever it is. And here in beer, this is like jet fuel. These are the calories that go straight to your liver. And as long as you're not fighting too many other calories like wasteful food, this will do everything you need. That's what I say. Don't hold that against me in a court of law. I'm on a longitudinal study. And I drink at least half a gallon of whole milk a day. So I figure I get enough water from my beer and from my milk, and I eat once a day. Sometimes, well, last week I ate some peanuts on I think a Thursday night, but then when it came to like Friday, that was the 5th day of me not really eating. I finally, I had, oh yeah, she cooked me ribs. I ate the ribs. And that is what I was thinking about writing to a men's health magazine of some sort. The beer belly diet right here. And I still cannot understand. Well, I do, now that I think of it. Paps doesn't want to start sending me money to support them because they still don't know if I'm about to explode. Who knows what this diet's doing? A longitudinal study over a period of time based on myself. I mean, you can't really do a study like this on somebody else unless you have a child at an early age. Right now, it's best I'm just doing it on myself. And there's no child I know that's mine.